God! Gordon Freeman!
Valve has brought their eagerly awaited and critically acclaimed PC masterpiece, Half-Life 2, to the Xbox. The single-player storyline remains completely intact, offering the same characters and events. But technically, the Xbox isn't capable of delivering a gameplay experience half as groundbreaking as Half-Life 2's original release.
Wake up and smell the ashes. Let's just say your hour has come again.
Valve managed to fit every mission from the PC version into the Xbox port. That alone is impressive, considering the original ran on systems 5 times more powerful than the Xbox. All the engaging characters, clever and emotional dialogue, and sudden plot twists are there.
Gordon, stay put. We'll get you out of there.
Something is drawing him away.
There are also still no cinemas. Your first-person perspective is only interrupted by occasional loading screens. You're stuck in Gordon Freeman's shoes from start to finish, and each area is roughly the same size as the PC Half-Life 2. All this means Valve stayed impressively loyal to their original single-player experience, and it's one of the most engaging stories gamers have had the chance to see and play in a long time. Obviously, fans of dual analog Halo-style run-and-gun console first-person shooting will want to try out Half-Life 2 on the Xbox. The Xbox controller doesn't have the aiming or weapon selecting precision a keyboard and mouse deliver, but the controls have been translated efficiently. The entire PC arsenal has returned, and Half-Life 2 has some really fun weapons. From the crowbar to the gravity gun, almost everything is entertaining to fight with, whether you're shooting at enemies, picking apart the environment, or throwing junk around. All the original vehicles are also available. They might be easier to control with the analog for those that struggle with a keyboard 2-button turning radius, but it's also arguably better to drive a vehicle and shoot a gun at the same time on a PC. Unfortunately, while the single-player adventure hasn't been cut down, there is no co-op, multiplayer, or online gameplay. No Counter-Strike Source, no Half-Life 2 Deathmatch. This is understandable considering the mammoth task of bringing an award-winning PC experience to an outdated console, but it's still not the mod-friendly complete package the original Half-Life 2 was. Half-Life 2, on any system, is a huge game. The environments are constantly changing. But having to cram all of that content onto the Xbox means something has to suffer. You'll be happy everything's there, but sad and sometimes frustrated as the Xbox tries to make it all work together. The graphics are nowhere near as impressive as the PC version. The Xbox does deliver a view of City 17 that looks better than a low-end PC, but if you've ever seen or experienced the original Half-Life 2 on a system that really took advantage of its design, the Xbox version falls way behind. The Havoc physics engine is still intact, but most of the time the Xbox pays for it. The fancier the physics get, the more the frame rate slows down considerably. But while it falls short of the original's performance, it still looks better than most games on the Xbox. The level structure, being identical to the PC game, is absolutely brilliant. The map can get confusing, and some of the puzzles can get tedious, but Valve has recreated their vision of a future that's unrecognizable but so real. It just doesn't look as good as it used to.
Funny you showing up on this day in particular.
True, you're getting to play Half-Life 2 on an Xbox, which is considerably less expensive than a top-of-the-line PC. But both versions of Half-Life 2 cost around $50, and the PC version features much more content. Considering this version is the first port of Half-Life 2, and is being released a year later, it makes you wonder why Valve didn't just wait until the Xbox 360, which gamers will get their hands on this week. That could definitely be a true console adaptation of the revolutionary PC original.
We owe a great deal to Dr. Freeman, even if trouble does tend to follow in his wake.
The recent edition of Half-Life 2 is for Xbox lovers that haven't experienced the greatest first-person shooter ever made. But people who played through the PC version will inevitably be disappointed.